So another day, another record for gold. Take a look at the chart here. The yellow metal blew past $4,000 a troy ounce overnight for the first time ever, and it's probably not done yet. Remember, I think Goldman's out with a note saying that they're calling 5,000 gold by the end of next year, right, 2026. But as you headlined, Chery, Ken Griffin over at Citadel is also saying some interesting things. He's saying, what's going on with gold could be a warning sign about the dollar safe haven status. And the way I read that is, look, he's saying, if you're looking for safety, it's not dollar. You're probably better served looking for it in gold.
Yeah, so that makes sense, and that has been really the trend, right? The central banks are buying gold and sort of as a haven demand. And of course, I was asking the question of why is that? It definitely should go beyond. It's not really the government shutdown that prompted this gold rally, but here is an interesting factoid. The U.S. is actually the largest gold holding country, so maybe it doesn't really mean a problem of U.S. Sort of selling out of the U.S., but it's really the dollar problem. So I think there is an interesting distinction that we should be making here. And sure, there is a portfolio diversification story. So maybe they may be moving things out of the U.S. into gold. So I think it could be really the question of fiat currency. And of course, that brings in the fascinating angle of cryptocurrencies as well.
I'm glad I brought that up, and I'm not surprised you brought it up either, Chery. So here's the thing. One way to look at what's going on with gold, right, is, diversification, but more, you remember, this all started right after Russia invaded Ukraine, and this is for the second time I'm talking about here, right? Not Crimea. And shortly after that, we had the West seizing Russian assets in the central bank, and I believe that money is still sitting at some bank in Brussels somewhere. So obviously, Vladimir Putin was not pleased, but I think the rest of the world also took note, including places like China, right? And they're saying, look, if they can do that to Russia, well, hold on, I hold a lot of U.S. assets as well, including U.S. treasuries, right? Maybe I ought to think about other places to put my dollars here. So therefore gold, therefore crypto as well. And remember, a lot of the money actually went offshore out of China too, and into Mag 7 stocks likely.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that you brought in the Ukraine angle in all this. And, I think some in the markets are definitely paying attention to what's going on in this part of the world. Of course, Taiwan could be a definite sort of uncertainty for going forward. And I think some traders, at least, are paying attention to what, the people that U.S. Defense Secretary Hegseth is meeting, and why did it call that meeting here? And it's really interesting sort of times to be looking at every single player's in the region, what North Korea is doing, how, the Shanghai Cooperation Summit. I mean, I don't think it was really about, just shaking hands and giving each other hugs. It's really about discussing the next steps going forward for countries like Russia, China, and North Korea. And of course, how India fits in all this. And I think the geopolitical uncertainty is definitely adding to this massive urge to diversify away from something traditional, something fiat at this point.